right, welcome Edwin. Very nice to join us for today's interview. You are a CEO of a smart home company, and you're also very much engaged in KNX Association. Just to kick off our conversation, would you let us know a little bit what your background is and what you're doing within your company and the association?
Okay. Well, thanks for being here. I like it very much to say some words about smart home. For me, it's my time that I joined the KNX Association. It's about 20 years. I'm in the board of the KNX Association in the Netherlands. So I have a long time experience with that kind of systems. I can say for my daily job, I'm responsible for the sales in the Netherlands of Theben. Theben is one of the companies they were from the beginning also involved with the developing of the KNX products. So we have a very good knowledge on board. Theben is, as a slogan, energy saving comfort. That means that we have more or less all our products to use in energy saving solutions, but we have also the idea we have to solve the comfort in these solutions.
What makes you passionate about these kind of products and home automation solutions? What do you think is the big potential of these technologies looking towards the future?
When I see what was happening 20 years ago, KNX is mostly used in high-end residentials, but also in buildings like buildings for health or offices and that kind of buildings. The last 5-6 years, I think, is developed rather and rather because of the I think by example, Nest and Amazon Alexa, Honeywell with the app for heating control. It helps a lot to increase the awareness of the people, and that's what we see now. More and more end users, they know the term of smart home and they know what it is and what they can do with it.
Let's talk a little bit about those end users you just mentioned. What are the big benefits? What are their requirements? What are the needs you're actually you can satisfy with these smart home technologies? What is your end user looking for, basically?
I think as one of the biggest advantages they want is they can use the smartphone or the tablet to control their house. It's very normal to use the smartphone for everything, but the last part is, I think, is their own house, and that's for sure now a couple of steps away before it become a standard. But I think the first signals we see in the market, it's also a question of security, by example. And when somebody is alone at home and he's in bed or she is in bed and he or she hears some noise downstairs and they don't trust it, and they can push a panic button and the lights are all going on, and to maybe they can scare the person who's downstairs to go out of the house, by example. And there are small examples what you can really use for security or for better feeling when you are home alone. So you can find a lot of solutions. Think about alarm system. And when you come home, you switch off the alarm, and there a basic situation in your houses is coming up by controlling the light. So that's a good coming in when you can say, hey, I'm home and the lights are automatically switched on. So I think there are a lot of possibilities. And the other important issue in Holland is, by example, the energy monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
You can say if we have solar panels on the roof, we have a heating pump, so we can save some energy. But if you want to control it to save, and I have, by example, a zero invoice at the end of the month, and then you have to control what are you doing, and then you can see what your energy use, by example, is, and
Mm-hmm.
you can do it better when it's not okay. So, and that in combination with a smart home solution, and I'm sure for the future you will switch on the washing machine, by example, automatically when there is enough sunshine. And that's interesting when you can offer that to the end user. And because the washing machine or the dishwasher, it needs a lot of energy, and normally they switch it on at night, but the sunshine is at the middle of the day, so we have our own energy at the middle of the day. So it's interesting to switch on that kind of equipment then when the sun is giving us a lot of energy.
What do you see as the major challenges for making this work well? I imagine this needs a lot of thinking about interoperability around, being convenient to use for the user, about making sure that the whole thing is secure and that data is managed appropriately. Are these things that you're discussing within your company or within the KNX Association?
In the KNX Association, we talked about cybersecurity for sure. We have for a month ago we had also an appointment with a cybersecure company to let us inform about this team, and in the future, the coming months, we will also offer our KNX professionals some possibilities to have some more information about it. But also in our own company, Theben will also invest a lot to make secure products, and it's very important to think about it, because the end user has is a little bit scary about hacking, and for sure it's important to bring solutions who are safe. But also what you said about integration and collaboration, it's also good to have possibility to have more manufacturers included in one system. That's I think the big advance from KNX. When you use KNX, you have the possibility to choose products out of about 450 manufacturers.
So KNX is actually an open standard, approved also in Europe by the International Standard Organization and by other standardization organizations worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a community, if I understand correctly, of manufacturers, installation professionals, and other players in the field. Could you give us an overview of who is involved in the KNX Association and what the role of collaboration between all those different actors is in the development of the smart home market from your perspective?
Yeah, in the KNX Association, we have 3 or 4 days in a year we see each other and we talk about some objects, some items, and we have also some externally persons. They talk about a special team, and but most of it is about sharing experiences, and therefore we have also in a couple of months we have introduced a new platform. It is Smart Inside, and there we have also the possibility to welcome not only KNX professionals but everybody what has to do with smart solutions in homes and buildings. So we want to give a bigger platform, or we offer a bigger platform to the market, so that we can, because of the sharing of possibilities, we think in we call it ecosystem, and so not only the KNX manufacturers, but also the possibility to connect other platforms, and mostly end user platforms.
What is your impression? Do users know enough about privacy and cybersecurity implications of having a smart home?
No, I don't think so. It's there's a lot of work to do, I think. They have when we see 50% of the end users are concerned about it, and they want a secure solution for the homes. But what we also see in the market is, hey, I want to give some service from distance. You can call me and I log in to your home and I do some changes, and then a port is forwarded or whatever, and the end user has no idea what that means, but the installer does it for to make it easier for themselves. But and that's something what we discuss about in the KNX Association, when we can do some information sessions to the installers to make that part better. We see it as a responsibility of our side.
In the Living Innovation Project, we have the ambition to work both with users and with industry to see how they view their future home in 2030. So that's not too far away, but it's still a while away. What do you think? What is the home of the future in 2030 going to look like and feel like to live in?
A very big issue is energy monitoring. I can say, by example, I want to have a messaging by using too much energy. A message like as your smartphone contract, that you can get a message for, hey, you are now out of your energy bundle, by example. That kind of things, I see it as a trend what will come in the next years. Also, that you can see what you are induced, the energy what you induce. I think that is an important trend. And the integration, the ecosystem, that you can use a platform to combine several standalone products, by example, in your smart home system. Maybe also one important issue is that the smart home solution can help us for elderly people to live longer at home. That's, I think, also one of the main topics what is very important, because care is more and more expensive. So it's interesting to can let live the elderly people longer in the home, in their own area, in their own home, and smart home solutions can really help them with that kind of thing. And then you can think about a central out, and when you leave your home, you are sure that the home is safe, that kind of thing, and a panic button at your bed. When there is something wrong, you can push the panic button.
For a long time, smart home technologies were merely sensors, gadgets, that appealed to a certain group of, I would say, rather technophile people. A lot of them male, a lot of them rather, I would say, middle income, higher income contexts. Now, aging and energy consumption and security concerns appeal to a much wider group of people. What do you think? How is the affordability of smart home solution going to change over the next years? If you say care is expensive, comprehensive smart home solutions are maybe also not a cheap option. So how do you see the question of who has access to these kind of solutions?
I'm sure we all together has to search for the possibility also in the cheaper houses. So not only for the high residential anymore. Don't think too far with all kind of possibilities, but just make a solution for only that part what he or she wants. I think that's important.